Welcome and thank you for tuning in to Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy. The following content may involve explicit language and materials, so listener discretion is advised.
Think of it as, all right, so it says it's so big.
Yeah.
And as it eats these people, it grows bigger. Well, he's eating people. So it's growing as a person. But say you eat all the villagers and all you have left are elk, big game, moose.
Yeah.
So you eat the moose. And so when you grow after eating the moose, instead of it being more human-like, it does kind of portray those characteristics out of whatever it ate.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah. So instead of it being like, I'm going to grow 6 inches taller, if that's the case, I should start eating people. But 6 inches taller.
We're just giving more credence to you eating people. That's all we're doing.
I could see that being, kind of you just grow and you get attributes as to whatever it is you're eating. And if people are scarce or gone and you have to have long periods of eating elk, moose, whatever the case may be, I can see that being it just kind of having the same process biologically, just having a different fuel source.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's possible, I guess, especially if people are actually seeing what they're describing. So kind of
like if you keep mixing yellow paint in, you're going to keep getting yellow paint. But if you throw in a blue, all of a sudden it starts to change colors.
Right.
Okay.
Right, I get it.
Okay, so this is a thought I had. They also say that it emits a foul stench of rotting flesh, which I would not want to. I've got a hound dog nose, man, that they would. I think I broke him. I broke Kevin. I killed Kevin.
No.
Supposedly, during the process of changing, the heart and the spine become encapsulated in a layer of thick ice, which I know you guys touched base on.
Yep.
Many of the traits tie into animals, like we talked about. Some of the speculated extra senses or heightened senses that it has are astonishing eyesight, hearing, sense of smell, unfathomable strength, extraordinary speed. Certain lore identifies them with the ability to be able to walk over extended periods of time, regardless of brutal weather and rough terrain. That's some. And they do also say that they possess the ability to create ice storms and tornadoes, which could come in handy. Yeah, which could come in handy. So think about it. You're walking in the woods. It's already starting to be. It's winter. You're just trying to find some fucking food for people, and all of a sudden, it's like blizzard out of nowhere. You can't see shit. You can't walk because we're just people, right? And we can't make it through the terrain. We can't walk very long. We have to take breaks and all of that. And so it's kind of like a slow you down. And then here it comes hauling ass at you because it could just do all of it.
And now we can't run through the snow.
Exactly. And there's some people that kind of portray it as having this haphazard, slowly falling apart type gait, kind of like a zombie, which I find interesting because although to see something walking with that type of gait at that type of speed would be scary as fuck.
No shit.
I watched Hellboy for the first time last week.
Okay.
The one with the guy that plays Hopper from Stranger Things. I'm a big fan of his. I
haven't seen that one.
Okay. Have you seen Violent Night? Violent Night
is fucking amazing.
Oh my God, he is so fucking hot in that movie. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. But anyway, I watched
so you
Hellboy.
Like the big guys, huh?
Well, I don't discriminate. I'll take what I can get. But oh my gosh, I'm so glad I have makeup on because my face feels so red right now. I watched that movie and Baba Yaga in that movie when she's starts, oh my gosh. I think I heave every episode. I always bring up something where I'm like, bleh. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like that real fucked up kind of walking, but she's fast. Yep. Oh my gosh. It really makes me want to puke. All right. They can
You know,
also
Baba
unlock...
Yaga was a real person?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's in a bunch of stuff I'm going to cover at some point.
Okay.
I just have it touch base. She's also, they say that the woman in Spirited Away, the old lady that basically bosses the little girl around, they say that she's a Baba Yaga.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I had to watch it in school. And then ironically, that no face thing or whatever, whatever the fuck that thing's called, if you take its mask off and give it some like long pointy fingers, that's my demon that follows me.
Damn, son.
Yeah,
Gross.
so it's really creepy. Yeah, it's
I don't
really...
like that.
Yeah, me neither. I'm really glad the light didn't go off on that one because at least I know it's not him. He usually bloodies my nose and turns my stuff off.
Ugh.
All right. If wounded, they have been known to be able to regenerate, which is scary. The most malevolent and terrifying trait that I think is the ability to lure unsuspecting prey into a trap by mimicking human voices.
Oh my God, yes, that is fucking creepy.
Once the person is isolated enough, the beast will ambush and eat your ass. So, I mean, just imagine, not only that, so think about...
Not eat your ass in a good way either.
Oh, good point. Good point. Touche. I mean, what? Anyway, okay, back in the day, like that time, I mean, think about it. These people, they didn't have technology. They didn't have safety. They didn't have... And imagine that you're out doing something and you hear your child's voice coming from in the woods, and you already have been hearing these stories of this monster in the woods that is eating people, and you hear your child in the woods.
Yep.
You wouldn't even hesitate.
Not
You'd
even
haul
for a
ass
second.
in there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You wouldn't even look to see if your kid was like actually in the teepee or tent or whatever the hell you're sleeping in. You would just go because, you know, post haste. You don't have time to waste. I didn't mean to do that. I'm a poet, didn't know it. Now, they do say there's 2 ways to get rid of the mutated monster. Both of my ways are not what you guys talked about. I don't think. One of them is to pour bear fat down the throat of the beast to melt the ice on the way down. Thus,
how the hell are you going to capture it to do that, first of all?
Exactly. And then how are you going to open the thing's mouth to get the bear fat in? I'm just... Now, supposedly, though, that's a way to get rid of it, but get the human back. That is the human back whip method.
Yep.
Like, instead of catch and release, it's kind of...
Yeah.
Now, there's a way to kill it.
Cut its head off.
A little more extensive than what you guys covered.
All right.
Which I was dying laughing because I was like, oh my gosh, you're going to get a kick out of this. All right, here we go. Per the normal trope of cryptids everywhere, you can penetrate the heart with a silver bullet, a blade, or a stake. After shattering the heart, though, you have to gather up all of the pieces, lock them in a silver box, and then bury them in a church cemetery. We're not done. After you do all that, you then have to go back to the remaining pieces of the Wendigo and dismember them with a silver-plated axe. Now, granted, we're not done yet. You then have to salt all of the body parts and burn them and scatter the ashes to the winds. If you do not complete all of these steps, the Wendigo could possibly be resurrected only to hunt you down and instill a long, agonizing death. Now, that's a lot of steps to remember.
Fucking ridiculous.
Right? Like, so when you guys were like, just hit the stake, I was like, no. There's like 40 steps you're missing here. You guys would be resurrecting these Wendigos like crazy.
I always heard that they're afraid of fire, and in order to kill them, you got to cut their heads off. That's all that I've ever heard of.
I didn't see anything about cutting their heads off.
That's wild.
Because they can regenerate. So think, again, with Hellboy, you have the witch that was cut. They had the sword, and it cut her into all the pieces. And then all they did was they stuck all the pieces back on, sewed it, and whatever ritual mumbo jumbo, and then kaboom, she's back. And And my thing is, if you're shattering ice, like an icy heart, what if you miss like one speck?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you get all of the? I mean, think about it. They primarily come out in the cold and snow. What if you miss like one drop? Do they have
You know what?
blood?
I don't know if they have blood. You
If
know
they
what?
have blood, do you have to get all the blood too?
Dude, that'd be crazy. Because if you don't, because if they can regenerate, they can just regenerate from that pool of blood that you
Yep.
left at
One
where you got
drop.
them at. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of creepy. That's even more creepier now.
Yeah.
Now I'm even more scared because I'm supposed to go out on a Wendigo
I
hunt.
know. That's why I picked it. I have another person who's going, oh, look. They thought that was funny too. Haha, joke's on you. Again, everybody, to see our video with our little visitor, Patreon. Shameless plug.
Shameless.
But anyway, I do, again, I have the same encounter as Scott had, but mine's a little different.
Okay.
You will see where me and Scott differ here, okay? We'll just put it that way.
Let's do it.
So after a long Alberta brutal winter from 1878 to 1879, Swift Runner, who was a Cree man, made his way back to society from his winter campsite. The kicker? He returned alone, but the entire family departed for the camp at the beginning of winter. When asked where his family was, his only response was that the harsh conditions had caused the mass starvation of every member. But suspicion arose as he told the story from the family dropping one by one while he stood there looking rather plump for living the same environment. Police then decided that they should check out the camp and take a look around. And what they found would leave them all stunned. As they approached the camp, they saw human bones thrown about the ground, some having to shock the police because they had gnaw marks on the bones. It was then that Swift confessed to succumbing to an evil spirit that visited him in his dreams, demanding that he eat his family to survive. And as he was told, he went Wendigo and proceeded to eat the family that included his loving wife, beloved brother, mother, and 6 fucking children. He then explained, there's more. He then explained that the last member to die did not die of starvation, but by his own hand, so that there would be no witnesses. And that was one of his sons, which he also ate. After the confession, Swift was sentenced to die by hanging that December at Fort Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan, yep.
One piece of sorry. So that's the story of the encounter, or the man that went Wendigo. Which is pretty fucked up.
That is fucked up.
But on a lighter note, I did find a little piece of interesting information that just kind of lift the mood a little. There is a restaurant called Wendigo in Stoughton, Wisconsin, and the logo features a cannibal burger on the menu that was stuffed with tenderloin and bacon.
Fucking people.
So if anybody goes, they thought it was funny too. If anybody goes there, I want a picture. I want a picture of what this looks like. I want to see what their menu looks like. I mean, do they have creative names for their food?
That makes me nervous to even try it, to be honest with you.
That gives a whole new meaning to Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
He got that one too. So that is what I have on the Wendigo.
That's entertaining, to be honest with you, especially the way to kill it. Like, that was fucking wild.
You need a silver box.
I want your attention now.
Yeah.
I want your attention now.
It's a lot. And so, silver box. You need a silver box. You need a silver plated axe. You need either a silver bullet, a stake, something else silver. I don't know. You need a shovel. What else do you need?
You need the church. You need holy ground.
Well, you can't take a church with you.
Exactly. Like, what the fuck?
You should make a little like model church, like a Beetlejuice, like a little Beetlejuice church,
and then transport us into the smaller.
Have someone bless it on Yeah, they like that one too. Maybe like get some dirt, right? Throw some dirt on it and then set the church on it. Then have a priest or whatever like bless it, so that's technically holy ground. And then you could sprinkle the dirt, set the church on it, and bury motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, and you need salt. You
Well,
gotta salt it too.
so fucking flamethrow it. We'll fucking cut the head off, and then we'll pour the fucking bear fat down the fucking esophagus, the opening in the fucking neck.
The bear fat only works if it's alive and you want it to be a person again. Otherwise, it has no need for bear fat.
Well then, well fuck me then.
Otherwise, it's stake it or hit it with silver in the heart to shatter the heart.
That's right. That's right.
Pick up all the pieces, put it in the box. Put that box in another box. Then put the box.
Is it just the heart or the whole body?
The heart goes in the box.
Yeah.
Then you bury the box at the church. Then you go back to the body. You cut it up with a silver-plated axe, douse it with salt, light it on fire, and then you got to spread the ashes to the wind.
All right. So it doesn't generate. You got to make sure all the blood is fucking in that area and fucking torch it, and then make sure you stand over that area too, so you don't get any blood from the heart fucking dripping anywhere else other than the fucking box.
It doesn't say the blood specifically, so maybe. Well, they say that the concept of a Wendigo is that this poor thing. Well, granted, to need people to get there, but this poor thing is forever in this horrible cycle where it is at the brink of death,
starvation,
but cannot die. It cannot die, but it can go on forever in misery and hunger.
Yep.
Maybe it doesn't have blood.
Maybe
if it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that the right? Is that the right quote?
We can kill it. Yeah.
Okay. See, I've been watching a lot of like older movies. Can you tell?
Yes.
Well, I crochet my aliens.
Amazing. I love that shit.
Yeah. So I watched Predator. I did not like Alien though.
Yeah,
I like
Alien.
Predator though.
I like Alien, but I don't like it at the same time.
I felt like you didn't even hardly see the alien.
Yeah.
There's all these depictions of this, big scary alien where like it opens its mouth and then this other alien comes out of its mouth, and you don't even fucking see it in the movie.
You don't see it until the end.
Even at the end, I didn't see. Well, I mean, it didn't look like that. It looked like
But you got to watch the other ones.
It looked like a piece of tooling that I have at work, where it's like got slots on each side, and it just looks like they just glued something to the front and shoved it out.
Well, that's the 80s for you.
At least Predator was cool.
Predator was fucking dope. And then I watched
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, that fucking movie gave me nightmares as a kid.
The Blob.
The Blob.
It's like the old black and was it black and white?
It looks like a fucking big thing of jelly.
Like the guy, and it just it devours everybody, and then it encapsulates the diner. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
With He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
Masters of the Universe? The Flash Gordon?
The movie, I don't know.
Wait, there's a movie He-Man?
Well, I think,
I think you're right, actually.
Yeah, it's like Masters of the Universe.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, I watched it. It was actually pretty good.
Was it?
And then I watched this one called Barbarians. That one was really nice because the guys just ran around nothing but these 10 little loincloths. It was nice. I'm not sure I entirely followed the story.
I believe that.
It was a good
I believe that. I can see that.
Hey, the girls were hot too, so yeah.
Yes.
It's a win-win.
Yep.
But yeah, so make sure you got all your goodies. Get your little knapsack.
A knapsack.
I have no idea where that word came from. That must have been Philip, because I don't even know what that word. I never use that word.
Yeah,
or Gertrude.
I don't even know,
Gertrude.
I don't even know what a knapsack technically is. To be honest,
isn't it kind of like a fanny pack?
Maybe.
Backpack.
Maybe.
Or is it a knapsack? Is that what
or
they
is
call?
It? Or is it the little fucking? Or is it the little frickin' cloth that they hang on the end of a stick and you put it over your shoulder, and you get all your stuff in the little fucking cloth.
Okay, that's like you're running away with the little red and white polka dot.
Yeah.
Like Huck Finn.
Yeah, that shit. Yeah.
How do I know all this weird stuff?
Knapsack.
Anyway, I'm full of useless information.
So am I. And it'll come up randomly at the most random fucking times. I'm like, where the fuck did I know that from?
Okay, this is gonna sound really weird, but I swear I smell like teenage boy sweat.
Teenage
And
boy sweat. That
like
is weird.
it's boy sweat.
I mean, I am of
I've been
male.
getting okay, so I've been getting that a lot, and I used to think it was just me being weird, but I think maybe it's not just me. I think it's actually something because
Yeah.
I've heard people that just smell things,
Yes. So have
and
I.
I keep getting these weird smells like randomly. It's
That's
bizarre.
It is
Unless it's
bizarre.
David,
But
I don't
you're
know if
also
David's in here.
empathic, so
That's true. It smells like boy sweat.
I mean, I'm still wearing my gym clothes. Not that
Well,
I'm
I
not
guess
there. I'm not there, but I mean, we are kind of connected
you'd be surprised.
through the universe right now.
No, you'd be surprised. I used well, no one believed me, so I would play a game where somebody I knew was at work like 2 hours away, and I
Yeah.
would hand somebody else my phone, and I would say, I would text, say, hey, I'm going to ask you some really weird random questions. Just answer with whatever you're thinking about. And, and then I would hand them the phone. And so then they would tell me, like, think of a color, and I would wait, and I'd be like, purple. And then they would send a message and they'd say purple. And they're like, I'm like, okay. And they're like, well, pick an animal. And I'm like, elephant. And then they'd get elephant. They're like, how the fuck? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I haven't done it in forever, but I used to be able to do that. Or, I had somebody, oh, geez. Okay. I had somebody that I used to be really close to. And, whoa, you just glitched on me.
Yeah, your demon must be there.
Yeah. Because it's not,
Yeah,
maybe that's what that weird
now it's
smell is.
saying internet connection is unstable.
That's weird. Can you leave my stuff alone? Quit being an asshole. Philip!
Don't be a dick.
Philip! I don't
Come
know who
back,
Philip
Philip.
is. Yeah. Or David. David! I just say kids. Kids, and then usually that works. But anyway, so we would do that, and there was a guy, and he was at work. I didn't know this at the time. I was at work, and I'm always like super hot, like all the time. I'm always like sweaty and miserable. I think it has to do with the extra fluff. And
Run hot too, man.
oh, it's horrible. I mean, it's fucking horrible.
It is.
And I was sitting there one day, and all of a sudden, I was like, I was freezing my ass off. I mean, I was
Oh boy.
so cold, and I was like, why am I cold? And then all of a sudden, they popped in my head, and I was like, fuck. So I went and sent a message, and I was like, hey, I'm really cold. What the hell are you doing? They're like, oh, I just got out of the freezer. I had to go fix a light bulb or something. They were in there for like half an hour, and I was like, oh.
Ah.
Like,
Yeah,
thanks, dude. And
fuck,
he's like,
dude,
how did you know?
I couldn't do that shit. I would lose my mind. So
Well, that doesn't happen as often. It has to be generally has to be like a really good connection to get a lot of stuff out of it.
uh-huh.
Which usually involves physical contact.
Yeah.
Doesn't
I
matter
get
which
that.
kind. Like
Right.
any
No,
kind.
I
mean,
get that.
some kinds obviously work a little more than others, but in general,
I mean, yeah,
yeah,
when you mix DNA, I could see that being a lot stronger.
it's
So,
yeah, it just gets crazy. And I mean, there was another time where again I was sitting in my car. I was at work on break, and all of a sudden I was just pissed. I mean, pissed for no reason. I
uh-huh.
was just so mad. And so I sent a message. I was like, having a bad day, huh? And he responds, he's like, how the hell did you know that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I said, what's going on? He's like, literally, I stepped on something that poked through his sock and like was in his foot. And as his phone was going off from me messaging him, he was cussing to pull the thing out of his foot because it hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
So I'm not that I'm like empathic or I have like anything like going on
I think
that
we
I
all got
think
something.
that I know of. You're right. I had these two mediums on. They're working mediums, and they were, I think it was like episode 32 or whatever, but they have their own podcast, which is called Lights at Midnight. For any of your listeners interested, they should definitely go check them out. They're wonderful people.
How long ago was it? Was it recent?
Probably about a year ago now. Cause,
okay. The name sounded familiar. I just didn't know if I saw it on one of your posts recently.
Oh yeah, no. Since I've been following you, I haven't had them on, but I do interact with them a lot, so it's possible, but I haven't posted anything about them or for them. Well, I post stuff about Emily, which is one of the co-hosts over there, because she does all my designs and shit.
Oh, nice.
So, but anyway, so yeah, we were talking, and one of them was talking, and all of a sudden my eyes started burning, and I felt like I wanted to cry. And like I started getting anxious and shit, and I was like, "Are you nervous?" I was like, "I'm really sorry, but like, are you nervous right now? Like, do you feel like you want to cry?" And she's like, "Yeah, like I've never been on somebody else's podcast before, and it's like, and I'm a little nervous and stuff like that." And her voice was shaking and stuff. I was like, "Cause I feel like I want to cry," and she's like, "I feel like I want to cry," and I was like, "That's crazy." All right, continue talking.
Yeah,
Go ahead. I'm not gonna acknowledge this. You just continue talking.
That's like so my Dragons episode with GK, I think it was GKJ. I can't remember the numbers.
That was a good episode.
Sorry, dude.
I listened to it.
And we were laughing because I kept bringing these things up, but his face was like, have you read my book? I was like, no. And he's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm sure. And then I would say something else, and he's like, are you positive? And I was like, I've not read your book, I promise. He's like, well, maybe you should just stop contributing because you're going to give my whole book away. I was like, I'm sorry. But yeah. So at least it's not as embarrassing as I tell people all the time, this is going to be a good one. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
It was one of my first interviews where I was on somebody else's podcast.
Uh-huh.
And there was a group of 4 gentlemen and myself on the pod. And I had set a background, right? So when you lift your hand up, your hand disappears, right? It just disappears. Well, my kid wouldn't stop knocking on the damn door trying to ask me a question. And again, I podded no pants. My theory was if I walked away from the computer, I would disappear. The camera's like this. My door is right behind me. So I literally stood up and walked to the door to answer my kid's question. It came back, and you could cut it with a knife. I mean, everybody was just like, and I was just like, I knew it. So I was like, oh God, no. So I sent like a DM to one of the guys, and I was like, did you guys just see my butt? And he was like, a little. And I was like, oh, okay. But then we just continued to record the pod.
That's fucking hilarious.
It was, I was just like, oh my gosh, but it was just funny because they were all like, no, like, I'm so sorry. At least I had real underwear on that day. I had underwear on, period, I guess.
Yeah. I've done a few of these with no pants on, but I mean, boxers are a little bit different than ladies' undies. Well, today I'm not.
Pixar didn't happen.
Okay. All right. I'll have to take a picture next time. But I don't wear banana hammocks. I don't wear that shit.
Can we make an exception?
Well, do you have a color preference?
Nah.
All right. Well, maybe I'll do one for you.
Oh yay! That was way too excited. I think my voice just went up like 10 octaves. Okay, so real quick, I gotta tell you the story because I don't remember a lot about my childhood. I don't know if it was just traumatic or what, but I don't have very many memories. But one of the memories that I have is that every Wednesday night, my mom's friends would come over.
Yep.
And all the kids had to go upstairs. And we were not allowed downstairs for a couple hours. And we couldn't figure out why. So one day, we snuck down the stairs to take a little peek at what was going on down there.
Oh, boy.
It's not as bad as it sounds.
Okay.
It was a lingerie party for men and women.
Oh, interesting.
And so the first banana hammock I ever saw, I'll never forget it. It was, right up the butt floss, it was the whole nine.
Oh,
and it had ears and the trunk for an elephant.
Wow.
That was the first exposure I had to men's underwear.
Wow, that's interesting. Oh my God.
And I'll never forget it.
Yeah. Was somebody wearing them?
No, it was hanging up on a little hanger.
All right.
Yeah, it was hanging up on a little hanger. And
that would have been a lot more awkward.
Yeah, there was one that was like a Christmas package, and had a little bow on it. One was like a Santa hat. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been weird like that, so I don't know. Like, I'm weird, but I'm not like odd weird,
Well, I mean, if you have enough to fill it out, then there's no harm in wearing it.
Well, true, but I don't know. That's never piqued my interest to do something.
You've never been a little adventurous? Don't worry, I'm going to cut most of this out, or probably all of it out.
It's totally fine. It doesn't matter if it's out there or not. I don't care. But I am adventurous and just don't.
So.
All right. Well, send me a link for your crochet thing so I can share it so you can make some money.
Awesome. I will say right now, I've just got one, and I had somebody asking about it, so I sent it to them this morning to see whether or not they won it. They asked me about it, so I'll check it, and then I'll let you know, and then just let me know when you want to get. But everybody, do not forget where the weird ones are. Find them, like them, listen to them, subscribe to them. I got to quit moving my arm. It hurts really bad. Give them some love. and just, keep doing what you're doing. Don't forget rate and review. That's always a good one. It helps us out. I know it doesn't seem like it. It takes, even if you just click the star and you don't write anything down, it takes 2 seconds and it helps us out a lot. So I guess other than that, I think that's it. So until next time, see ya.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy. If you wouldn't mind, please take a moment and rate and review the show wherever you're listening. I know it might not seem like much, but it greatly helps the show by allowing us to be found more easily when other listeners search for us. If you have a chance, head on over to www.patreon.com/Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy and become a patron. Members of the Big Show tier get bonus materials, personalized shout-outs, access to the private Discord server, and video versions of episodes, both regular and members only, that are raw and unedited. So they're always a good time. As an added thank you to the Big Show patrons, we also are going to be giving out custom stickers and mini prints after 3 months of membership. I'm currently offering a 7-day free trial, so head on over and see how awesome being a member can be. Before you go, click the link in the description and grab yourself or someone you know some of the self-designed merch, or make a donation to help keep the show going and fund future events and investigations. T-shirts, hoodies, stickers, and magnets can be found on the TeePublic site, and they have sales at least once a month. I believe it is 30 or 35% off. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly how much, but keep checking back and get them when they're discounts. They have $16 tees, and it's great. For handmade crochet items such as Nessie, Mothman, aliens, Fresno nightcrawlers, and the little ghosts or a big ghost, as well as pants, swimwear, the best tumblers I have found yet as far as merch is concerned, dresses, office supplies, and more, visit the Square merch store. You can also follow the podcast on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Threads, and TikTok. If you have any questions, topic recommendations, or personal encounters, please don't hesitate to send them in to cryptidscreepsandconspiracy@gmail.com or submit them through the contact form at www.cryptidscreepsandconspiracy.com. I would love to hear from you and share your experience on a special listener episode. Just make sure to specify that I have permission to add your encounter to the show, and let me know whether you would like to have your real name or an alias to maintain confidentiality. Thank you again so much for all your support, and I'll see you next time, my friend.